right, happy Wednesday, everyone, and welcome to KSAT News Now. It is June the 14th. We really appreciate you guys spending another day with us here as we take a look at some of our bite-sized news and weather, of course, throughout the San Antonio area. Also going to get to some national stories, including a raccoon that was caught in a, let's call it a sticky situation. I know meteorologist Mia Montgomery was very concerned about this raccoon's well-being, right, Mia?
Yes.
She was. Okay.
Save the raccoon.
Hashtag save the raccoon. So Mia's going to be with us in just a little bit, talk a little bit more about our weather, what we're looking at, and if there's any relief out there from the heat, right? Okay, well, we'll talk about that here in just a little bit. But first of all, I want to get to our local news. And it was another night of multiple shooting calls across the city of San Antonio and for police. A lot of them here. So let's run through them here. The first one happened just before 1 a.m. And this one here was at a laundromat on Gardendale near Data Point when two men were outside eating and apparently making a big mess in front of the business. Now, the woman here, a woman tried to confront them, and police say that one of the suspects allegedly slapped the woman. So the woman ran inside, and when the woman's boyfriend tried to confront the two suspects, police say that they pulled out a gun and then shot the boyfriend, killing him. The two men ran away and are still on the run as police are still kind of conducting an investigation in this case here. So let's move on to the second shooting here. Again, another very violent night across the city of San Antonio. This one happened around midnight on Dollarhide near Pecan Valley Drive on the southeast side. San Antonio police say a man showed up to a home and started fighting another man and a woman out in the yard. Police say that the man that actually showed up was shot and killed in the street. So another deadly shooting here. The shooter was detained by police, and investigators say that preliminary details show that police believe this may have involved some sort of love triangle between the suspect and the victim. This right here is also an ongoing investigation. And police are investigating another shooting here that happened last night on Palo Alto Road, just north of I-35. Police say a man went inside a convenience store, and when he walked out, two men with guns tried to rob him. When he refused to give over his property, police say that one of the suspects shot him 3 times in the chest. The man was taken to the hospital in critical condition. All right, so move on to big national news here that we're following. Of course, this has been the talk of really the country here, this historic arraignment of former President Donald Trump. Hours after pleading not guilty to 37 criminal counts in the special counsel's classified documents probe, Trump lashed out in a speech falsely claiming that he has the right to hold on to those records.
Threatening me with 400 years in prison for possessing my own presidential papers. We witnessed the most evil and heinous abuse of power in the history of our country. Very sad thing to watch.
All right, and you just heard right there from the former President Donald Trump there. So Trump's speech came after hours after his arraignment in Miami federal courts, where supporters and protesters gathered outside. We saw a lot of that coverage there throughout the day yesterday. Trump was silent during the hearing. His attorney entered a not guilty plea to 37 criminal counts. All right, something we're seeing a lot, unfortunately. I think the last time we were on, Mia, we were talking about mosquitoes wreaking havoc across the city here. So the recent rains have been needed. Of course, that's always a good thing, but they have brought along a lot of these small, pestering, unwelcome guests, these mosquitoes. So their bites not only make you itch, we all know that, but could also spread diseases. So to help you find a good bug repellent, KSAT Consumer Reports, that would be Marilyn Warren's, volunteers tested 53 of them by doing this. So get this. This is how they tested this bug repellent. They stuck their treated arms into cages of 200 hungry mosquitoes. I can see your face. For 5 minutes. Okay, so they just stuck their arm in a cage with 200 angry mosquitoes there for minutes on end. They counted every time a mosquito landed or bit and repeated this until the repellent failed or 8 hours had passed.
Repellent fails our test if a mosquito bites twice in one 5-minute session, or if there's one bite in each of 2 consecutive 5-minute sessions.
Okay, I don't even want to do the math there. So bites twice in a 5-minute session or one bite each 2. Okay, this is this is out of like Fear Factor or something. All right, so here's some more information that they found. Many of the most effective repellents for fighting mosquitoes and ticks contain 25 to 30% DEET as the active ingredient. Very important there to read on the bottles. If you want to avoid DEET, they found some that contain 20% picaridin or 30% oil of lemon eucalyptus were also effective. All right, so what did not work well? The natural ones that were made with essential oils. Would you ever do this?
I was going to say, I don't know how I thought that they tested mosquito repellent, but that wasn't it.
No, definitely, yeah. That was not on my top things of way to check out mosquito bites. But I will say, when I did that shoot, the one at Natural
that's
Bridge,
right.
It was an overnight shoot where we went frog counting, but there were tons of bugs out there, mosquitoes, all sorts of things flying all over the air. I had a repellent that had 98% DEET.
Okay.
And it worked pretty well.
So you know all about this.
Yes, I will say that that worked pretty well. But I don't know. I'd have to get paid a lot of money, even consider
to stick your
hand
in a cage with 200 mosquitoes for 5 minutes.
Or what did it say, angry?
Angry.
Aggressive
something.
mosquitoes?
They're unhappy, whatever it is.
Exactly.
Wow. Well, yes. So you're exactly right. We've had recent rounds of rain.
Yeah.
Yes, unfortunately, the mosquitoes are here. But what those recent rounds of rain did for us, especially throughout April and throughout May, they generally held our temperatures down. Not as bad as what we saw last year, especially throughout the month of May. But of course, yes, it is June, and those temperatures are still cranking up. It has been an incredibly hot and humid week across South Central Texas, as well as here in San Antonio. And today is shaping up to be no different. So we saw some clouds out there this morning, this afternoon. Once again, we'll see some peaks of sunshine, temperatures cranking up into the upper 90s, a forecast high near 98. But the humidity is still with us. So when you factor in all of that moisture, feels like temperatures could peak upwards of about 105 degrees. That's what it feels like to your body in the shade. So stay hydrated. Again, I know you're probably tired of us saying that. Wear sunscreen, all of the things, because look at these daytime highs this afternoon. 103 in Carrizo Springs, potentially even hotter in Cotulla down I-35, 96 in Gonzales, 98 in Beeville. And again, those are just the forecast high temperatures. So with the humidity in place, it's going to feel even hotter than that, in the triple digits for pretty much all of us. High pressure is in control right now, keeping us high and dry. And you can see as we advance this on throughout the remainder of the week and even into this weekend, high pressure is still in control, which means rain chances pretty much next to nothing, unfortunately. And those temperatures are just going to continue to trend upward, especially as we head into Friday and Saturday, potentially nearing 103 degrees here in San Antonio. The good news is, slightly good news, humidity starts to trend downward ever so slightly this weekend, but it's a trade-off because dry air typically means that temperatures can climb even higher. So air temperatures in the triple digits, and yes, the humidity will still be with us in some capacity, maybe not as oppressive as today. So heat index values could still range up to about 108 degrees. So yes, this heat definitely still with us. It is going to stay with us throughout the upcoming Father's Day weekend, and even into the beginning of next week. We'll have more chances for some sunshine there as well. So I don't know, RJ, maybe for Father's Day this weekend, get Dad a nice can of SPF or some nice new sunglasses or something like that, because it's gonna be a hot one.
It's going to be a hot one for sure. Yeah, that's almost as scary as the mosquito story. So,
triple digit temperatures, mosquitoes. Not great news.
Yeah, stay hydrated. And also one thing that I found is I try and do stuff early in the morning to kind of avoid being out in the sun. Yeah, if you're maybe going to go exercise or try and do something outdoors.
Especially because the past couple mornings we've managed to see some clouds
nice.
too.
Yeah.
So as long as you can just bear with the humidity, at least temperatures are held down a little bit throughout the first half of the day.
All right. Yeah, so I know you guys will continue to stay on top of these this triple degree heat, Mia, but moving on here. All right, we're talking about mosquitoes. Now we're talking about raccoons here, and a raccoon that found itself in a very sticky spot. You don't see this every day. Check this guy out here. So a raccoon in Rhode Island found itself in a tense situation. What is going on here? Okay. It got stuck at the very top of a light pole on a very busy highway there in Rhode Island. So the Department of Environmental Management worked with the Department of Transportation, basically their TxDOT, and the state police to get this little guy down. So the raccoon was safely rescued and then released. Look at him right there. making his way down on one of those cherry pickers.
Oh
right
my
there.
goodness.
Now, it's unknown how the raccoon got up there in the first
That
place.
was my question. Was how did it get up there?
Okay, I don't know if it maybe saw something that it wanted to maybe potentially go try and eat. What was it doing? Was it
Oh
following
my
something up this
goodness.
pole?
So many questions.
So many questions. Apparently, it shut down traffic for a little while, so this was a pretty big deal there. But again, they managed to get it down. And again, they had to call the environmental police out there, but their version of KSAT to go. It was a total team effort here to get this
Wow.
raccoon off of that light pole.
I was gonna say, just looking at the video, they pulled out all the stops for the raccoon. So I'm so happy. Whenever I was looking through the show beforehand, I just saw the slug for this story. It was raccoon rescue.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my goodness, please let the raccoon be okay.
Well, yeah, he's reportedly okay and maybe has an amazing story to go tell his little raccoon buddies. You know what? Just stay away from the light poles there, raccoon. And hashtag save the raccoon.
Save the
I think we like
raccoon.
that. Yeah,
Save
there you
the
go.
raccoon.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap things up for KSAT News Now. Thanks again for hanging out with us. Make sure to like, rate, and subscribe to our podcast as well. We'll see you back here again soon.